Hello and welcome back to Trash It. The topic we're going to be trashing today is why is there a high rate of divorce? Is this because people are marrying who is ready and who they're not necessarily in love with? In the house today, we've got your usual guests, which you should already know already if you're an avid follower of the show. We've got Oga in the corner. We've got Funshaw in the corner. We've got Ajike in the corner. We've got Mr. Jabujantix in the corner. Okay. And then we've got my co-host Yori. So now a few months back, right? Cubana Chief Priest. We all know who Cubana Chief Priest is, I suppose, right? We all do. Right. So Cubana Chief Priest put something up on his wall and he said, listen, right? Every time somebody wants to get married, I spend thousands and thousands on Ashwebi. Like in less than a year, these people are already divorced. Okay. I'm spending a lot of money on Ashwebi that I might never be able to wear anymore. And then that marriage is no longer together a few months later. So do you know what? I'm not buying Ashwebi anymore. So now let's go into it. Do we agree with the statement that says the reason for a high rate of divorce is because people are marrying who is ready and not who they're in love with? So Olga, let me come to you. What do you think about this? Is this what's happening because people want to be married, or do you think there's still love as one of the reasons why people get married?
Okay, I'll say yes and I'll say no.
Okay.
Why I said yes is I know that some people they wait, and if they couldn't find any, they get married. But they said that they will grow in love in that marriage. But for instance, the love doesn't come, maybe might lead to divorce. And I will say no and why I said no in the other part is because some people, even if they marry somebody that they love, divorce still happens. I can give you one example of two people. They started dating while they were in university. They loved each other, I believed. That was why they got married. And trust me, that marriage did not last for 2 years. While they were together throughout in university. So they got married, they had kids, and they broke up. So I would say it's not because of love. Sometimes it's because of stress, and sometimes when kids are involved. And another example is a friend of mine. She said she's not going to have kids. Why? Because kids lead to divorce. That was what she told me, that she wants to enjoy her husband. And when they start having kids, they've seen so many people that when they were together without kids, there's so much love in the relationship that as soon as kids start coming, there's divorce. So that was why I said yes and no. There are so many things that can lead to divorce, not just because they don't marry somebody they don't love.
Okay. Let me come to you. Mr. Jagotantix. What do you think about this? I know, obviously, you're in a very happy marriage, which is great, but not a lot of people are fortunate to be in that situation. So what do you think? Do you think people are marrying for love, or they're just marrying who is available because they want to be counted as those who are married?
Well, this topic is a very deep topic, very, very deep, and it's got so many cluster angles. It's not something you can just dive into and just address one angle and move. It's a very, very critical topic and controversial topic. People marry for so many reasons: for security, for love, for friendship, for political ties, for financial ties with another tycoon's family, for so many reasons. In fact, marriage right now has become a business entity. It's no longer what it used to be anymore. Well, in my own experience, I've noticed that people are not really who they used to be before marriage. Immediately they exchange vows. If you used to be somebody who is always happy-go-lucky, you go out, you party with friends, you and your girlfriend, people know you, you're always out there, and then you marry and you start forming this big boy, big girl. We're married now, we don't do them things no more. Before 1 year, that marriage will collapse. When I had my marriage, everything was still the same the way it used to be. And one of my friends that I helped to arrange his bachelorship, he got married. Few months into the marriage, I called him, dear brother, it's my 40th birthday. What are we doing? We're going to this club. All of us, we want to hang together, just have a few drinks before we go home. And his response was, oh, you know, I'm married now. We don't do those things anymore. You know, I don't go clubbing and that. 4 months after marriage collapsed because
Wow.
they're not who they used to be. You know, and then when you're from a particular background, like a low class, and you're marrying somebody from an upper class, and this girl is trying to spend money the way she was brought up, and you are like, no, we can't take first class. We will get there at the same time. And the girl is the one paying for it. And you start exhibiting all those low life or poor man mentality. It's never going to end. That happened to another friend of mine. I went for a wedding in Nigeria this last November. And this was a big time wedding. The girl spent over 20 million naira on this. Bought everything. I used my own money to buy suits, buy ashwebi, buy everything. Flew to Nigeria. I was one of the groomsmen. And believe you me, that marriage is not even 9 months yet, and it has already collapsed. Because girl is from a rich background. She's not even forming big girl. She's not proud about the property. The guy is from a lower class, but he has this London, you know, I don't know how they create this mentality for themselves. They want to act like they are Oyibo, but this is not Oyibo man's mentality, you know. And because of that difference in class, thing has hit the rock. Now they no longer live together. She's trying to use me to collect papers. This girl was born in UK. This girl has enough money to pay somebody 10,000 pounds to collect papers. Why would a woman pay so much, spend so much into giving
Why will
back?
you not give her pepper in the first place? She's your wife.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? If she has so much money to pay somebody, why go through the pain of giving birth and all the rest just because of
they had a baby.
They have twins together. So now the marriage is no more. You know, they've called police on each other, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, dear.
If it was me, I know the kind of lifestyle it would be. So times love do die.
Oh yeah, especially because if the girl is not the kind of girl to show it off and say, oh, you're nothing, I'm the one carrying the family, then why should the boy have a problem? That's the thing. The pride will not let some people and I beg.
Exactly. Everybody has their own issues in them. Nobody is perfect. But as a man, we need to find a balance in marriage. So if I'm marrying Otedola's daughter, obviously there's a difference in class. I may be born into a rich family, but that wealth, when I became a man, there was no longer wealth. The wealth wasn't there anymore. So if I'm getting into the society and I find myself dating a rich man's daughter, obviously levels go change. Like my Edo people, they talk up. It go change. When it change, Instablog go they post up. London ties not with Lagos, Kiniko. Everybody go they envy. You know, just go they slide, enter my DM. It will never affect my marriage. Anyway, let me not talk too much. There is a lot to talk about, but let me keep the airwaves open for somebody else.
Thank you, Mr. Jagbajantics. Right, Funsho, let me come to you. Men, you just heard what Mr. Jagbajantics said. Some people, God puts people in our lives for them to bring us out of a condition that we have been asking God to remove us from. But because that person is in the form of the woman we've married, and because of our ego as a man, Nigerian men, some of them are very proud. They will not allow God to use that person to help them. Now look at this man's situation. That man could have been flying first class, left, right, and center, so all going on different holidays and everything, but he will not allow his ego. What is British passport? I'm sure that girl can even buy it, because if you have a certain amount of money, they will give you citizenship. So Funsho, let me come to you. What do you think? Why are men allowing their reducing their glory? I don't know how to say it again.
Just like Mr. Jagbajanti said, from the beginning of it, you have to look at what you're getting to from the beginning. Like, is it a transactional marriage or a marriage based on love? You know, so if it's a transactional marriage, things like this might eventually happen, because you might get to a point where you're not getting what you want from the marriage, and you feel like you want to walk away and stuff like that. But if it's based on love, which sometimes I also still feel it is overrated, It may last longer than the transactional marriage, but overall, I still believe that if you get married to your friend remains your friend forever. And that's what I preach each time I speak to young couples or people that want to get married. I tell them that, are you sure this guy, forget about love now, because in some cases, love dies. But if you are marrying your very good friend, someone that, okay, you are free to talk to at any point, you can share whatever you want, then when the love dies, the friendship sustains the relationship you guys have. So if it's a transactional marriage, like Mr. Jawans has mentioned, different types of transactional marriage. Yeah, it's bound to happen at a certain point that the marriage will break down and it will become irreparable.
Right. Okay. So, Ajike, let me come to you. So right, that in some instances, right, God puts people in our lives to help us. We know, right? So, as a man, do you think a man should be saying no? Because my wife, she has money, but at the end of the day, they will start looking for a reason to say, oh, this woman is this, or she's trying to act as if she's better than me or whatnot. That poor man mentality.
Marriage is about, the problem about marriage, a lot of people just think that we should just marry. Marriage is not like that. Marriage is about emotional intelligence. A lot of people forget that fact. A lot of us maybe we are intellectually intelligent, we are mature, we feel that we've grown, we have breasts, we have everything. If you are not emotionally intelligent, you should have no business in a marriage. Emotional intelligence comes with integrity, teachability in capital letter. I cannot shout where I am, I've been shouting it. Have a teachable spirit. A lot of people are not teachable. A lot of us are coming with baggages. The number one baggage in that baggage is limiting beliefs. Mr. Jagbadat is done something. Somebody is saying, let's fly first class. You are saying you want to fly, you will get there at the same time. It's a limiting belief. It's a strong, and this thing happens. Like now, my son came home. My son is an only child. So he eats meat as he likes. When I was young too, we were men in our house. So we didn't eat big meat. So when I married, I made sure in my house, meat is big. Meat is big in my house. You can't come to my house. Meat, fish, I cut it. So when he goes to school, he's carrying big meat. So this girl came to meet him and said, my mommy said that people that eat this kind of meat, they are thieves. Imagine Jeremiah will now marry that girl. You can see that their marriage has collapsed. They are not even married. That marriage has collapsed. Because Jeremiah will say, I want my children to eat big meat. This girl is saying, I want man girl, you got it small. Children don't, if you train children like that, they will be thieves. One. But that's not the case. So, we have to, teachability we have to be teachable. Even me too, when I married my husband, I went to Nigerian Navy Secondary School. I'm very aggressive. I'm neat, I'm aggressive, I'm fast. My husband is slow, he's laid back. So at times when I'm talking, some of his friends say, your ambassador, he's an ambassador's child, that's why she's behaving like that. Not knowing that that's my own behavior, it's my character. So it's true, the two of us had to be teachable. My husband has to understand, okay, this is a character. I have to understand that this is character. Then we now began. It wasn't easy, 12 years last month. It's now, I can tell you that in the last 5 years has been beautiful. So if we remove 5 from 12, 7 years of, it's just that we will not kill ourselves and we will not beat ourselves. But if we hear our matter, you will know ahead. So in other words, the latter end of a marriage is sweeter than the beginning. And a lot of people are not patient. They don't have it. I want to have money now. I want to do this one now. That man, now your friends now be telling you, divorce him, leave him. Oh, the friends too be saying she's like me now. You cannot add infertility to the mix. They will say, she's fat. It's what she's eating. She's just eating your food. There are just even things that I will probably just speak, like as I'm talking now, to some people I'm shouting. That's how I am. But when I'm only talking, I've not said shout, so you can imagine if I'm now shouting. Everywhere goes. So it was my husband had that problem. Say, oh, Pariwo, you are shouting. I'm explaining. So my teachability, emotional intelligence, teachability is underrated. We just tell them to go for guidance counseling. They do not go to Redeemed Christian Church of God when they say, did you have sex? Did you do kids? You go and do my pregnancy test. You did that's all. Go and marry. No. Sit them down. Financial, like me, I don't mind. I don't buy many things. I don't have many things. But if I want to buy one thing, it's back on Shubu. I can go and use 500,000 to buy wristwatch. But my husband, he can use 500,000 to buy 1,000 wristwatches. The whole house will not be full of wristwatch. Will not be. Don't let. I'm always saying your clothes are too many. This thing I said, it can cause divorce in some homes.
Oh yeah.
But we have to just understand. True. My wife is a minimalist. Me, I'm a maximalist. Even this meat matter. My husband didn't understand. When I married, I will be cutting meat. Big. I said, but I carry a king general. My father went to Park Village people to come to our house and be living. We'll be 30 in the house. We eating ejakote. Kote fish. We'll be eating kote fish and neba no crow. I told myself, never in my life, you will not see that fish in my house. So for me, it's a thing that I brought from when I was young. It's something I brought from when I was young, and I brought it into my marriage. So those are bad. That's a baggage. Yeah, bro. It's just like meat.
It's good baggage.
Well, it's a baggage. It is a baggage. So we have to understand that we are coming with different baggages. In fact, we need to normalize marriage counseling. Nigeria, where I stay, I live in Lagos. When me and my husband we had issues, and I said I wanted to say marriage counseling. If I divorced me, are you divorcing? I said no. I just want another person to hear me out. I think maybe they are taking this my aggression. It's me. This is how I am. I'm just aggressive. I don't know how to do things small. Let's do it now. Fast. Get me results. So it's also a problem with my son. My son is like his father. He's very calm. When I'm shouting, I'm roaring like a lion. My son is looking at me like, sure, this woman will not die of shouts. Like, she will not just collapse. She will not die. He will be looking at me confused. So I had to slow down. But that because I was teachable. So we have to be teachable. We have to learn to relax. And I know that marriage is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Thank you, Ajike. Yuri, let me come to you. Do you think love is enough to carry a marriage? Right? Do you think just love is enough? Or as Mr. Jagwajanti said, all the other transactions are just as important as love in a relationship?
It's not just love. It requires a lot of things. Patience, forgiveness. Love has a lot of cousins that needs to be present in you.
Knowing how to say sorry when you didn't do anything.
We're working on that in my house.
Yeah.
We're working on that. We're working on that in my house because that's an issue. But being almost 14 years now married, I will tell you, it's not made of just I love you. There's a lot of compromise. Like we didn't live together before we got married. So we got married, we moved in. Tunde has his things, he's set in his ways, and I have things as well. Things like putting toilet seats down.
God bless you. Yeah. God bless you.
I can kill you for it.
I can kill you for it. For 2 years, Tunde and I had an issue. He would say, but you too can put the toilet. I mean, I know. You went there, put it down. So that when I come, I don't want to be stressed to use the toilet. He was like, oh, babe. I said, no. So toilet seats, as simple as that. Then socks was another issue. How can you come back from work and just remove your socks? I see one leg here, I see the other. Why, Maka? Why? What is the problem? Socks was another issue. So for another person, those two things can end a marriage.
Of course.
So love is a huge component of your marriage, but there are other causes attached to it. And to go back to the initial question as to we marry who is ready, blah, 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 I would still blame the society.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to sound like Metisela, but I got married quite a while back where there was no Bella Naija, when there was no Bankemi Shida. I think we only had Tara, Face of Tara was that woman. That's the only makeup artist that we had. So There were other but there was no need for me to have a makeup artist that would cost 3 million naira. There was no reason for me to make Bella Niger. We just wanted to get married because that was what it was, getting to marry. But now there's so many attachments to why people want to get married. Not just get married for marrying. They want people to see that I got married in a grand way. And then you now start losing focus of what the whole institution is about. And also the dynamics and the hidden agenda. I'll give you an example. We've got a case at the moment. The young lady, obviously, I would say she's advanced in age, but obviously she got married quite late. She went in guns blazing, wants to marry this guy, blah, blah, blah. This guy pretended all the way, wanted to get him to America. The day this guy landed in America as a spouse, started a fight. Before you knew it, he packed his load, left the house, and disappeared, moved to another city. And apparently there was another girl that had no immigration status sorted out, waiting for him.
Yeah.
So you wasted this girl's life. That's why I said some people, they have ulterior motive. This is this girl that has come all clean, met this guy, courted this guy, dated this guy, did everything. Oh, I'm getting married. But this guy had his own. He was like, no, I'm just using you to cross border. So that's why there are issues like that. And men don't marry now because, no disrespect to you men here, some men are lazy. They just want to marry someone that will be bankroll them. I heard of a case of this guy that said he's dating 3 girls, but he's making them all go through the Canadian route. Whichever one is successful first is the one he's going to marry. Wow. Do you want to tell me he loves them?
The girls are mad now. So we are
Did the girls know? They don't know.
They don't know, isn't it?
They all don't know. So you and I, we all come from different backgrounds. We all come with our bags and baggages. Marriage is not easy. You have external influences in some marriage where the mother-in-law will talk, the father-in-law will talk, the sister-in-laws are in the marriage. That's recipe for disaster. And used to, as a woman or as a man, you have your own attitude. Like my husband doesn't really talk. He's a very quiet person. For me, I can talk for Olympics. And when I talk, the guy will just he'll be lost. Where do I start from? Because I've done lane 1, lane 2, I've even submitted the button to something else. You get what I'm saying? So it takes him understanding when to talk. And trust me, when today talks, and listen, because the guy does not talk. But the one time he says no, just know that Yori, you need that to rein it in. So me too, I push my barrier back because I know that, we still understand compromise, understanding each other and loving each other for your inadequacies, complementing each other.
Just to buttress the point you made in the beginning, Yori, when you started saying that, different things can just make a marriage to end. And for me, not that it would, I've had to get used to it. I remember my husband, when he's brushing, oh my God, like, he can brush and brush and brush and brush and brush. And then, when some people are brushing and then it sounds as if they are gagging, as if they want to vomit. I hate it. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know what? Because I hate vomiting. Anything that has to do with vomiting, puking. I don't mind, wiping your bum. I'll do that. But when it comes to vomiting, I can't stand it. Right. But then when he's brushing, that noise, I'm like, and he's brushing and he's walking around the house, mouthwash in the mouth. And I'm like, stay upstairs, stay in the bathroom, lock the door. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to smell it. So for me, it's something that I've had to compromise because I know that, I don't think he's ever going to change. Right. So whereas if I didn't love him or if I didn't want to compromise, that could just, please.
That's enough.
That's enough, and that's going to take me to the next area of discussion where people say you don't have to love the person before you get married to him. The love can grow in the relationship. For example, our mothers would say, well, my father and your grandfather, right? My father and your grandfather, your father's father, were friends, and they said we should get married, and we got married, as Mr. Jabojansi said, for political reasons or for maybe so that this village will be friends or will be help each other and things like that. So, and they'll be like 40 years later, we're still together, right? So do we think knowing what the generation of today is like, internet, social media, everything, is that still applicable? For a relationship for you to really go into a relationship without first having the love and then hoping that the love would develop. Because don't forget, so I see everybody's shaking their head. You know, Indians, some Indians still do arranged marriage.
Their culture. It's their culture.
Every culture
It's their
still
culture.
Their culture.
But the thing about it is, it's very prominent with the Indians. It's in the genetics. They don't expect to pick their own husband or wife. Do you understand? It's once you have a child, you start growing up, they know, well, they will probably arrange someone for me.
For you.
So
Right.
I don't think that one is an issue. But you see, let me tell you a story. There was a guy that had asked me out before I met my husband. His last name is my current last name. And I said, never in my life would I drop my maiden name to take that last name, because I don't see me bearing that last name. And that was why I didn't date that guy. Fast forward to when I met Mr. Gbada. I did not, it didn't bother me that was this guy's last name. I was so happy that I'm getting married to my husband. And one of my friends, Buki, she called me. I called her she was flying in from the state. I was like, babe, I'm getting married. And then she was like, who are you getting married? I was like, that guy I told you about. I said, Batamosi. I said, yes. Did you not tell this guy? And that guy was clean. That was what I said. Oh my God. I didn't remember. That's to tell you his love. I never loved that other guy. Love is important. I don't see the reason why anyone in this day and age, unless they're in a position, maybe they need something financially, and then they have to go into a marriage, a la Ned, what's that old man's name?
Yeah,
why would you want to marry someone you don't actually love? To kiss someone is not easy. Someone you don't love. They're ringing their mouth and you have to start imagining. There's a lot of things psychologically. You might end up stabbing them because you're like, what are you doing, my baby Bula? I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah.
Okay, Ogo, let me come to you. So what do you think? Do you think that people will grow into loving each other in the marriage, or do you think you have to have that first?
Okay, I would say, well, you have to have that love first. Mm-hmm. But I've seen so many people that grow love in the marriage. For instance, I would say in UK here, I've stayed here for a long time. I don't know what happens in Nigeria, but what I've seen in UK here, about 6 people I know their husband before they married them. They just married them from Nigeria. They didn't know each other. They were just talking on the phone. They made arrangement with the parents. They married them. They brought them to UK. At least for the past 8 years, I've seen they've been living together and they've loved each other. With what I'm saying, I don't know what happens inside the house, but I see that love grew compared to people that knew each other, dated and married, and most of them are divorced that I've known. So what I would say is that it actually sometimes, well, it grows. Love grows in the marriage, but it's very important to marry someone you love. Maybe they spoke on the phone and they love the person. I can't say.
Okay,
yeah.
Funsho, I mean, what do you think? Do you think people grow into loving each other in the marriage and can still manage without loving each other at the beginning of the marriage?
I don't know whether I would call it love, but probably it's love. I think people grow fond of themselves, kind of. So, when I was making my introduction, I said love is overrated, that you should marry your friend. And I still stand by it. Mm-hmm. When I say love is overrated, I mean, sometimes you love someone and because you love the person, you are just taking things that probably you don't like, or it makes you uncomfortable. That is when love becomes a pain. And that's why I said it's overrated. But if you marry your friend, like Yori said, when I get into the house, I dropped one socks in the parlor, I dropped the other one in the other room. And the next day when I want to get to work, I'm like, my wife, where has she kept my socks? Because she keeps picking them up. I was like, where did she drop these things? And that kind of thing. And she keeps saying that you keep dropping them everywhere and I keep picking them. But it doesn't mean I will still do it tomorrow. This seat cover, toilet seat cover thing, she practically gave up. Because she keeps telling me that it's uncomfortable for me when I want to pee and blah, blah, blah. That when you guys do your thing standing up, you mess up the seat cover. I was like, okay, sorry. In fact, because of her, there's a permanent issue in the bathroom because I won't carry that seat. I keep forgetting to raise it up. So I use the tissue. When I finish, I clean the seat cover. So when she comes, she knows I've cleaned it. So that's the way we are able to find a way around it.
Yeah.
If you marry your friend, I think these things would overcome whatever issues you have, and you go fond of yourselves. And now, if you're saying that you get married without love, I don't think that's possible. I think you first have to be attracted to the person. You have to feel something.
I wanted to say that.
Exactly. You have to feel something first. Like I used to tell my wife, when I was in the market, when I was still browsing, when I was still browsing, I used to look for fair, tall ladies. If you're not fair, you're not tall, you don't fit in. But when I was eventually getting married, I got married to a dark-skinned lady.
Short.
Because I felt something. I went beyond the physical appearance. I felt something. I liked her. She was my friend. I could connect. My friends kept telling me that, no, we know you're still going to drop this one and go for your usuals. I said, no, I think this is the right one. And
usuals.
And 8 years down the line, we are still together. So I think it's important that you marry your friend and you can grow fond of each other as years grow by.
Thank you. So, Mr. Jabojantis, do you believe in marrying for the love, coming up in the marriage, or do you think it's something we have to have before?
Well,
because sorry, our mothers did it though, and their marriages lasted. So why is there such a big deal?
It lasted because they were able. They are the keep quiet generation. They didn't tell you.
Keep quiet generation.
Generation scatter everything like fashion. Bring camera that does not exist.
Okay, all right, Mr. Jagba, let me hear.
So that thing, the way it happened for them, they didn't have social media, they didn't have all these things, but they had their own ways of doing things, of connecting. These days, if you think, we've been talking on the phone, she's in Nigeria, I'm here, or she's in America, I'm the one in Nigeria, we've been talking on phone, blah, blah, blah. It's the same as meeting somebody on social media. They have that platform where they can do video calls, they can exchange nudes, you send me boobs, I send you whatever. Before you know it, that bond will start growing. They don't even have to be in the same town. They will have this highly charged sex drive. They want to see each other and tear each other apart. The moment they see and start living together for the first 3 months, they will start picking the hidden bad habits that they couldn't identify over the video calls or phone. Like, anytime you eat, you just throw things there, or you have this bad way of eating. And
oh my gosh,
this is real. This is real. These are things I've seen with people. And the girl can't stand it, or the boy can't stand it, or the guy is the type that will go to the pot and be using hands to pick meat and be eating. He can wake up in the middle of the night, go to the toilet, walk straight in the kitchen, eat, come back. Some people, they have this bad attitude. Or you see a woman who will wear pants, and you will see one pant behind the cupboard, another pant is there. She has completely forgotten about it. She doesn't even remember that the pant is there. It's you that will pick it up, and that lower part of the pant will be like this. Otigon.
oh my days.
You're a woman, for God's sake. You need to be clean. If you, a woman, can be like this, and you have kids growing around you, blah, 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 blah. So people have so many cases, but all in all, people still find a balance to overlook these things and still remain in marriage. And you see somebody who cannot even stand you opening the cream and not remembering to cover it, the marriage is collapsing. She's so careless, she's so nasty. If she uses the cream, she doesn't cover it. If she uses the toilet, she doesn't remember to flush. And you'll be thinking, that small thing, you better come and see my own husband. So this thing, if only they can allow me to open a school, there is a lot I have in my chest that I can pour out to people from different experiences that they can learn from. But these days, I want more to say, there is they don't have that patience. It's not in their book. It's not in their book.
I think another thing is that in the olden days, our parents, I don't know, there is this respect thing. Okay, I live in Prague now, And I have a lot of friends. Most of us that have this problem are even Yorubas. Like, you want me to call you auntie, you want me to call you brother, and all those things. So we have that rubbish, no, don't let me say rubbish, because it's our culture. We have that mentality with us. So in the olden days, there was this fear, there was this respect of the elderly ones, that because your dad has said, this is the person you marry, you can't say no, you know? But for this generation, nah, I'm not marrying that guy. His head is too long, or probably is too short. You know, those kind of things. So we are able to, like,
for me,
no.
like, it's what everybody has said is actually true. But I just believe that love can actually grow.
Of course.
You should be, like me now, I wanted, from time, I'm not tall, and I have the tendency to be very, very fat. So I was always looking for, not necessarily tall, but someone that will be slim, so that my children will have hope, a future and a hope. Like the Bible said, they will have a future and a hope. So that was it for me. That was it for me. I know when I met my husband, luckily, another thing I wanted was teachability. I didn't understand that maybe I was sort of emotionally intelligent, even as back then. But I also wanted someone that, you know, it wasn't like everything my way. It's my way or the highway.
Highway.
No, those were two things that I held on to. And I can tell you for free that the love I have for my husband today is not the same that I had on the day that I met him. So it has obviously grown. We've been able to grow through our mistakes. So for me, I still believe that it can happen for some people, but like Mr. Jabatas, everybody here said, no patience. Everybody wants everything, instant gratification. There, you know, a lot of fake life. There are slay mama on Instagram, when you call, you see that they're not even flushing. That flushing toilet, you think it's a small smarter. You think it's many people, they have shalanga in their house. All those slay mama, shalanga they have, they don't know how to flush. You think it's a small thing. It's a very, very big issue. For me, I can't sleep. So like me, I can't sleep if I don't have my bath, if I don't brush my teeth. So I cannot just imagine somebody just getting on the bed, you don't brush, you didn't bath. You have killed me.
Put one for kiss, Laro. So, you know,
well,
a few minutes before that early morning, you know, the early morning sex.
You know, for me, it's a no-brainer that, you know, but that everything grows with patience. So will love. And like Yori said, there are many cousins with love. Patience is a delayed gratification.
Endurance.
That delayed gratification is another problem, because some people are coming to that marriage. Immediately I want Porsche. I want to ride I want to fly G40. I want to think of that private plane. They want to start flying. You know, they don't understand that this man may actually be from a rich home, but the father is the owner of the money. Until the father died, nothing will reach this boy's hand. He's still hustling. It's just that he has one big name. He's just buried that name. Other than that, the two of you are the same thing. You will also. And if Baba must have given another person the money. So
you see, another thing is, some women would argue, or they would say that when they first got married, their husband like worshipped the ground they walked on, you know, pampered them and looked after them and gave them anything they wanted. If they say jump, the man would say how high. But now, down the line into the marriage, the man self does not even really, that love the man has is no longer
something. See, marriage evolves. Marriage evolves. See, when you first marry, you people be together in that honeymoon stage, you now get pregnant. If your pregnancy was like my own, that you grow ugly, you are worry. You are not, everything is horrible. I did not start looking good until like 5 years after giving birth to my child. Yes, I had it that bad. You know, so if, you know, some men at that time, things can go wrong. Or even you yourself, you are concentrating. I'm concentrating a lot on my son. In fact, it was something that brought me to realization that I'm beginning to neglect my husband.
I was going there.
I was beginning to neglect my husband. I was also going to say it. So it took me self-realization that, oh, I'm leaving this guy. Let me try. It's not good. I first of all knew husband before I knew child. Child be clock 18 and leave me. And I could have a son now, although we will not marry that kind of wife. I've told him we will not marry the wife that will love me and love his father. If we marry, we will not marry the one that say, I don't want to see your mother. Although I keep saying it's the mother-in-law that does not have money. They used to chase out. I have money.
Okay.
I will have money forever till I die. I will leave
Okay.
money.
Amen.
Okay, I'm just gonna come to Mr. Jaguar quickly. Mr. Jaguar, you were gonna say something about something that Ajike was saying.
So I'll be quick. There is this case with a lot of couples. They will get married, 5 years into the marriage, maybe no kids, or 2 years or 3 years, no kids. The moment there is a child, there will be shifts in love. And you see, each time during the day, the man tries to move close to the woman will be giving excuses. Me, I'm more around, this and that, I'm tired, the kids are playing, what do you want us to do? She will now say, okay, don't worry, in bed at night when the kids are sleeping. Now the kids are sleeping. You stretch your hand, the woman is like, I'm tired now, I want to sleep.
It's very true. It's
Hold
very
on,
true.
I'll come
hold
to
on,
that when
hold
you
on,
finish.
hold
I'll
on,
come
hold
to
on,
that.
hold on. I'm tired now. I'm this. Okay, don't worry, tomorrow when the kids are playing. Now, the person who is saying she's tired, she will just hear one sound from the baby. The way she will shoot up. So where is all this energy
It's
coming from?
motherly instinct.
Motherly instincts. So there is no wife. There is no wifely instinct, Abby.
Can I respond to
Husbandly
Jagwajantis? Can I respond to Jagwajantis?
I've seen few people, not even few, because of that. I've seen people who have started cutting shows outside because of that. Because
That's not
they
an
always,
excuse.
they
That is
always
not an
say,
excuse.
wait, you will know, you understand now. They say there is always room for communication, right? When you try several times to communicate, we need to understand that there is a need for something. And when your needs are not met, and the only thing you always meet is excuses, and you go to speak outside to somebody and they're asking you, have you guys tried to communicate? Did you speak to her? And you know that you've tried to communicate several times, it is the same story. Of course, he will cut shows now. He will cut shows. I'm not saying it's a good thing, no, but we need not to let ourselves get carried away. Ajike said it right. Ajike said it the way it is. She was very honest about it. And I respect her for that. You will realize that you are drifting away. And in your own honest heart of hearts, you will know that, this is unfair on my side. Give this man attention. That is the right time. If it goes on like that, things can go wrong. Not all of us has the same tolerance level.
In some cases also. So what Mr. Jagwajantis just said is absolutely correct, because I know what I passed through when my wife had a baby, and
you are looking guilty, right?
From the first, I spoke this topic. I went to Federal Government College, where in Taraba, that's in the north. So we have this secondary school WhatsApp group, and we discuss this particular topic of childbirth and what happens. So what I'm trying to say is that some ladies, immediately after they give birth, they believe that the guy or the husband must go on sabbatical for the next 2 years. There was a friend that said after the wife gave birth, over a year they didn't have sex. And there are some that you'll be counting that 6 weeks. The doctor says 6 weeks before you do anything, depending on the kind of delivery. So 6 weeks, they'll be counting, they'll be helping you discount. They'll go to the gynecologist. Is it 6 weeks already? Is the place closed? Can I do now? But let's put that one aside. This is passionate because it actually happened to me, and it was the first time. I can see. It was the first time. I was like, madam, for how long are we going to wait now? And we kept waiting. Now let's put that one aside. Now, so a friend of mine also got across to me because he also passed through the same situation, and the wife just blanked him out. And he was like, how did you do it in your own time? So I was now asking him, sometimes, let's be honest, our ladies are superhumans.
We work hard.
What they do, what they do sometimes we cannot do. I, as a person, I can't do it. Before she
it's not sometimes you cannot do.
cater for me, cater for the baby. She'll go to work, take care of the house, cook, and all those things. You know.
Now you're coming.
So sometimes, as guys, we need to assist them. So this was the
Exactly.
advice I gave to my friend. I was like,
Of
okay,
course.
so when she's saying she's breastfeeding, what do you do in the house? I said, what am I supposed to do? I don't have
You sit down and wait for her to breastfeed.
What the fuck is what should I do with your money? I said, you have to help her. So you want to go to, let's say you want to go to Jerusalem at night, to the promised land. It's from the morning. You start helping. Babe, what should I do?
Thank you.
Should I wash the plates? No, I can feed the baby. I can wash your clothes.
Express the milk. I can
Something
help you.
that. So by the time it is time at night, she will look at it. It's not as if you have to do that before you get it.
Not all the
You
time.
are entitled to it. It's your right. But at the same time, you help her. You help her carry that load. That
Load.
she get very, very tired. And at the end of the day, she'll be willing. She'll be even happy. She'll not just lay there like a log. She'll participate.
Pregnancy comes with its own unique. And like I said, like some women actually even go through postpartum depression. Some people don't like their bodies. They go into dysmorphia, body dysmorphia. Like me now, personally, I didn't like how I looked. I don't have the longest neck. I'm not a swan in any way, shape, or
Oh my
form.
days.
Honestly,
No, it's the truth. I'm not ugly,
you're
but I'm
pretty. Trust me. Yeah.
It affected my psyche.
Yeah.
It affected me. I tried to lose weight. It wasn't coming up because I had other medical, PCOS, so many things I was battling with. So it has taken me 7 years. My son is 7. It has taken me 7 years to lose weight. It is amazing. Most people don't find it has taken me that long. Although the premise was I was sitting like a thief, but it took me a while to reset that thieving brain back to normal. But like I said earlier, it was because of my husband, because I felt I was doing him a disservice because I was not happy with myself. So I said, guy, I want to take time off and just take care of myself. That's what I told him, but obviously he got the message. Now he's enjoying it because okay, I'm happy. There's a perk to my move. I'm better now. I'm better now. So at times you need, like Funchal rightfully said, we need help. At times you just need help around the house. You are shuffling your child from, say like I'm a stay-at-home mom. As I'm shuffling him from swimming, I'm moving him to abacus, I'm moving him into this, I'm online, I'm teaching him.
Also original.
I'm a teacher myself. I teach him. Well, I teach him math. I'm there. So I'm stretched during the day. When I hit the bed, I'm not wicked, though.
You sleep.
I don't sleep during the day. I don't have that blessing of sleeping during the day. So when I hit that bed, it's not wickedness. I've just slept off. But because of now, I'm beginning to learn that okay, I have to allocate, work. Okay, you
breakfast in bed.
Learn to go into your Zoom meeting.
If you do
your assignment, learn to take the picture of the assignment to the teacher, send it. And that's not my, I'm beginning to let go. And I'm also a control freak. I want to control everything.
Ajika, if you sleep at night because you are tired, early morning you can also give it to, when you're not done anything yet.
I'm off my parents' place. No, I also know that's the truth.
Early morning is good also now.
I take care of my parents. That's the amazing thing. I take care of my parents. I'm the one who takes care of my dad is almost 90.
Before you start your day, attend to the needs.
Early morning one is this.
4:30.
The sweetest one, right?
I'm sleeping up. I reach Bagada at 5:30.
Wait, Jagbajantis.
Wait, let Jagbajantis say something.
The morning one is the sweetest one, right?
The morning one is the best.
They don't get it. I'm telling you, she's not getting it. She's not getting it.
Excuse me, I don't like it. I want to do it.
Don't give me any time.
I'm telling you,
give me early now. Morning.
It's a secret now. That early morning one is the best.
Don't give me in the afternoon. Don't give me in the evening.
Just that early morning one.
Give me very early in the morning, around 5, 6.
It's called breakfast in bed.
When I get up, all my body will be like this.
People are taking notes. Anyway, see, honestly, before we round up, right? Let me just throw one thing in the mix before we round up, because we really do need to round up. Just hearing what Ajike was saying, she does this, she does that, and she listed everything that she's doing, and rightfully so. And at night, by the time she gets in the bed, she's tired. It's not that she's wicked though, but she's just tired. Now, some men would argue that this is where sometimes we should subcontract certain things in our marriage,
Like what?
right? So maybe this is a good opportunity for the man to marry a second wife, and where you cannot meet up, the other wife will help you. I said this thing before in our polygamy video, because all this hello baby,
the
how
other
are
wife
you?
can help us with the housework.
Funsho, well, Funsho, am I right? Abi, Shebi, this is where
Actually, I discussed this with my wife when she just gave birth. I was like, "Oh, baby, you are so busy with all these things and like that." Though it was jokingly, because if you take this kind of thing serious, so I was like, our fathers actually had a very good idea of polygamy. Like now, the lady will come, help you with all the house chores and everything. I also help you with the other one also, if you don't mind. And then everybody's happy. So, although I understand, I think the man should, if possible, assist the woman very much at home. Like I mentioned before, that there's some things I don't do in the house, and she knows. I won't touch the toilet. Nothing. Every other thing. And I won't cook.
Also relative.
Yeah.
The kind of work my husband does too. He's not always at home. It's not his fault. So the most he can do is to give me money to employ somebody.
But even when he's at home,
if I was in Nigeria, I won't be doing it too.
He's busy. I'm not trying to say that my husband does not help in the house, but he's really busy. He works on the island, traffic coming, it's crazy. So in fairness to, at times when people say he does not help, me too, he cannot help. The same way you are looking for him, guys cannot help. The most he can do, if he has money, collect the money and go and get house girl. Maybe person doesn't even need to stay in. The person can come, the person can go. That's what I do.
Ajike, I'm sorry I'm delving into this, but if he's too tired because of his work and everything, then probably when he gets he's also tired to go to Jerusalem. He'll just go to sleep.
Yes, now.
So anything is tired on that one.
Okay, you're getting there before we round up, because I'm about to round up.
Just roll over.
So the thing about it is that I'm not talking about Nigeria. In United Kingdom, help is very expensive. Cleaners are expensive, cook is expensive, nannies are expensive. If we have anybody that we can outsource those to, then we won't be tired. Because our day starts at 6 a.m. or 5:30 at time. You wake up, you get the kids ready, you get the husband himself ready. Because, yes, you get the husband ready. Mr. Man will then start, oh, what about coffee? Do you think I should wear this shirt? You don't work in your office. Wear whatever shirt you like. But you're not talking. Okay, wear the blue. Go wear the blue one, but it doesn't go with my red tie. What the hell are you asking me? If you know that's what you want to wear, okay, go with something else. So you have to get the husband ready. Then you get to work. Then you come back and then deal with all the other extenuating circumstances. And then comes 9 o'clock when you're about to shut down. And then someone will say,
hello, baby, how are you?
Hello, baby.
What about those times that you two, your hand is just coming from the back, or when it come close?
You see, Jagodantis, that's why we now set things in place. So some days now, we know that on certain days, everybody, we grab each other. Do you understand? We have those days on all scheduled. But sometimes when I want to do extracurricular affairs, you guys are always ready now. So if I touch you, you have no
we are protesting. That's what I always say to my husband, but he begs to differ. And he's like, sometimes when I'm ready, you're saying no, you're not ready. So yes, it's not every time that you're ready, I should be ready.
If I touch you,
but I think that one is just fronting, Sha. That one is just fronting. He's playing hard to get. Yeah, he's always ready. I know.
He's just doing defense mechanism.
Exactly.
I don't need to. But anyway,
anyway, on that note, I think we're going to end it here. Honestly, this has been a very fun topic. It's been an interesting one. And so I hope you guys watching have learned from this, okay? Women, always try and make time for your husband. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. We can be very tired. I don't think we're at that level of outsourcing that aspect yet, but hopefully, some people might get there.
We'll get there.
And some people, not me, not us. Some people might get there very soon. In our children's generation. So on that note, we're gonna end it. And again, from what Funsho was saying, men should always try and help around the house as well, because then the woman can't really then have an excuse to say I'm tired when the man has washed the dishes, the man has done the hoovering, he has done the ironing. So what is now your excuse? Put the children.
She will. It's not pity. She will look at you like, gidi to
she
enjoy
will,
something.
you know what? As I'm saying,
Listen,
as I'm saying this, my husband is looking at me like, even when I do all those things, you still tell me you're tired. Honestly, kind of. Honestly, you can't win, right? You cannot win. On that note, we're going to end it. Thank you for talking on this topic, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.